Developed over decades on the water, Nomad Design tackle is crafted by experience.
At the light, turn left onto County Road 775.
The Nomad Vibe tribe's on the road again. We came to the west coast of Florida, Boca Grande. We have no idea whether the Vertrex Vibes are going to work for tarpon here. We've caught tarpon with them in the past. We've caught juveniles back in creeks, and I had a customer catch a really large tarpon in the Everglades.
Look at that lure right there, right in the beak. It's a nice big fish.
But this is a different fishery, different water, depth, current. I have a rough idea of what tackle I think I'm going to be using. I'm going to have the Nomad 7.8. On the lighter side, I'm going to be using the 7.4 offshore spin rod. And I'm also really keen to try out the slow pitch rod. This is the 20 to 50 pound slow pitch rod. I think for the deep water in this area where these fish congregate, this could be a really fun outfit to be able to fish for long periods. Vibing for tarpon in Boca Grande Pass. 3 bites in the last, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. We've never done this before here. We're out here, this is unknown territory for us. We didn't know if these fish would respond to this or not. We had a big west wind, pushed dirty water in here and stirred up, and a big batch of the fish left. But the conditions are starting to shape up. It's sporty, really sporty. You can feel this fish rubbing on other fish in the school right now. But we're out here in 18-foot Chittenden Flats skiff right now and getting bites on the Vibe. This is insane. Vibing for tarpon, who would have thought?
How many people you think are using lures right now?
0. There are, I don't know, there's probably 20 boats. Is there 15, 20 boats here? 20 boats? And they're all fishing live crabs. And watching a lot of people not catching much. There's a few guys that were catching fish, but a lot of live baiting going on. And here we are lure fishing. Oh, this has got me wrapped on something here. About to break off here. Got me in the bottom. I'm just gonna go real light and see if it'll swim out from whatever it got me on. That was just a huge step in the whole process. Oh, we're off.
There you go. Pop off. Nice.
Is we off? Yep, we're direct again. These fish are so dirty, any structure, they're gonna go straight in. There's ledges here, really deep water. Lots of sharks here too, so we've got to pay attention to that. We really don't want to feed them to sharks if we can help it. We're going to try and use plenty of drag, get these fish quick. If a shark comes up, the best thing to do is to free spool the fish to see if it can get away, or break it off and just go back and try and hook another one. Being that we've had 3 bites, I'm not going to be, 3 bites in a short space of time fishing the 110 Vertrex Max in the color Boo. Same color, one of my clients caught a really big fish in the Everglades.
They seem to like that, huh?
It's a very classic, that black color is very tarpon. We use a lot of black flies. The water's very chalky here today. If the water was clearer, I don't know if this would be the right color. I'm up and down on the drag here at the moment because this fish is swimming through structure and fish. Depending on where the hook is, I'm only using 50 pound fluorocarbon. They can chafe it off very easily. If it's hooked on I've just got one single treble hook, tail hook right now. If it's hooked on the outside of the mouth, right on the tip, there's less chafing going on. But if the fish sucks that bait down and gets hooked anywhere inside the mouth, very likely you're gonna get chafed off. Just part of the game. Lure fishing for tarpon. Getting bites right now is just huge. Never done this before, can't believe it. I'm gonna come up on the drag here because I don't really want to muck around on this fish. It's gone down with its buddies and it's just gonna be swimming down that deep water in this current. I'm wondering how that line is after it being in that. But it's just, you got to get them. You just got to go for them. You can't baby them because they'll never stop. Might come up for a roll here. It's going to come up and get some air. It's going to show itself. Oh, I jump, nice jump too. Sick. Off the back of the boat. That was a sick jump. Nice. This is the stick. Yeah, baby. Understanding the water column. We're in like 60 feet of water where we're fishing. Sometimes up in as shallow as 40. It's pretty deep. But these vibes, you can get down those deeper water columns where you need to be, where the fish are, and be effective working them. We're pitching them. The current's coming in at the moment. We're casting up into the current and counting down roughly 50, 60 seconds if it's in 50, 60 feet of water, about a second per foot. Once you get down to that bottom there, lifting it up and lowering it, lift and lower, and just waiting for that bite on the drop each time. I've never been here before. This is my first time in Boca Grande Pass. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. We're pretty new at this here. We found some fish where there's no other boats, so we're able to get a little bit of area to ourselves, which is really nice. I'm using my Simrad with side imaging and down imaging so I can see these bodies of fish so that we know that we're working the lure through the right zone. So we're not just fishing barren bottom. There's huge schools here, and this isn't even a fraction of what it can be like. This is not even a giant one.
Just takes it all back.
Oh yeah.
And so groupers are harder than this, huh?
Oh, I mean, if you're catching a 400-pound Goliath, you're not using gear like this. If a tarpon grew to 400 pounds, you'd never catch them. I mean, they grow to like what, the records are in 200 pounds, the absolute giants. Rubbing on fish.
See him, I can see him. You can see that rod tip, yeah, right there.
Yeah, lots of rubbing. And what'll happen is that line will get in the jaw hinge of other fish too. So before, that might not have been bottom structure. It could have been another fish. The line had got through and was rubbing on while I was fighting this one. That can happen. There's just so many fish down there. Your lines is bound to rub against them when they go back through their buddies, swimming through the school. And this current, they get down this side, huge paravane. It's like trying to pull a barn door. Oh, there it goes. All right. Whew. Well, we didn't get the release on that one. We got pretty close at one point when it jumped, and the braid got wore through by other fish, so the leader didn't break. It was just the braid. Whew. We're out here vibing, first time. This is the first time ever vibing for tarpon in Boca Grande Pass. I've done it in the Everglades. I've done it in river systems and in bays. And now we're in Boca Grande Pass where there's probably 20 boats out here fishing live crabs. One of the guides that we know was laughing at us for fishing lures. He said we wouldn't do it, we wouldn't get it done. Now, I will talk about these lures come with 2 hooks on them. You don't have to fish the hooks that come on, although the BKK Vipers and the single hooks that come on these lures are great. I'm gonna leave the tail treble hook on the Viper. I missed 2 bites with a single hook this morning, not to say the single hook won't work. I just right now have confidence in a single treble hook. Safety, if we're gonna be grabbing these fish to try and get the lure back out, and also we don't wanna fish swimming around these big fish swimming around with a lure with 2 hooks because it could pin its mouth shut after release, after the fish gets away, or we lose a fish or whatever. That is a possibility. So we're doing this for the fish and for us, for safety. I'm going to put that treble hook in there because that's a great treble hook, and I'm going to use that again later on. Now it's time to get our vibe back on again. Yeah. Yep, caught fish. Vibing for tarpon. Yes! 5 bites here in only a couple of hours. Don't jump in the boat. You gotta be careful pulling on them when they're facing at you, because if you steer them and their reaction is to jump to try and throw that lure or hook, be careful. Okay, there's just one single hook in here, so you've got to be a little bit careful. Hold this rod for me. Tight.
Yep.
See if I can get a grip of it there. Throw real hard. I'm going to watch out a shark doesn't come and bite her or me. There we go, beautiful release. Sick.
Hell yeah. That's all we needed.
That's about all you can say.
Now this fishery is a very historic tarpon fishery. Predominantly the guys fish with live crabs. So we brought the Vertrex Vibe here to see if we could catch these fish. Tarpon are very challenging. This fishery is very challenging. There's a lot of boats in tight quarters. There's a lot of current moving through this pass. It gets very rough. We had no idea whether these lures would even work here. We absolutely crushed it. Lost count on bites. I don't know how many fish we put in the air. We had 10 solid hookups, and we caught, got several fish to the boat. The guides in the area were so professional. With all the chaos, fish jumping, people trying to get in position for drifts and set up on these fish, and I can't thank the professionalism of the guides in this local area enough. I've never been here before. None of us had ever been here before. This is our first time. We went out there and we got on fish right away. What a spectacular fishery. I'm very thankful that I came here, and I can't wait to come back again.